Well, Joyce, late this afternoon, the state Supreme Court narrowly denied the request made by those inmates. The justices, with a 5-4 majority, decided that the state is doing enough to protect inmates from getting coronavirus. Just the chance that thousands of inmates, some violent ones even, as you said, convicted killers, might get released was creating trauma for crime victims and their families.
And now my family and I are having to deal with this. And I don't even know how that is possible.
And that was a Facebook Live posted by Tanya Fenton earlier this week. Her mother, Julie Binchus, was killed back in 2008 by Isaac Zamora, who was sentenced to life in prison. But the state feared someone like Zamora might be set free if the state Supreme Court sided with the inmates' lawsuit and ordered the release of thousands of inmates. The governor's office has already authorized the release of about 1,000 nonviolent offenders in an effort to create more social distancing behind bars. But attorneys for inmates had argued that was not enough, causing victims and their relatives to fear for their safety.
We've worked so hard over the past 12 years to, be positive and live a good life, and to have this thrown in our face for no reason because of COVID-19, it's unfair.
That was Tanya Fenton on the steps of the state Supreme Court this morning while those arguments were happening. I just spoke with her on the phone. She's having a much different emotional reaction. She says she is so happy, she's relieved that she doesn't have to worry about the person who killed her mother and thousands of other violent criminals getting out early because of COVID-19. Live in Olympia, Drew Mickelson, King 5 News.